7 months from the day I first saw her and first fantasized about her, I still can't stop fantasizing about Sandra. When I first met her, she was crying on the side of the road. The boy she'd come to the mountains with had just ditched her, miles away from home, and she didn't know what the hell to do. I glanced over at the empty cell where I'd let her sleep for the night. I remember joking with her about getting to tell her grandkids about how she got in trouble and spent a night in jail. We always keep money around for charity here. We live in a tiny mountain town, of course, but for 7 or 8 months of the year, it is very busy, overrun with tourists. They lose things that end up in our lost and found. We keep everything for a season, but whatever is left at the end of the season is donated or sold. We use that money sort of like an informal traveler's aid service. So, she lived at the hotel now. The bill isn't paid from our charity fund, not anymore. It only took her a few days, really, before she impressed Georgia and Mandy enough to end that. Now, she is a valued employee of the hotel and depends on herself rather than charity. God, I want her. I want her so damned badly. I get to see her all the time because my boss lives at the hotel. He is Georgia's husband, and they have an apartment there. Sandy lives at the hotel as well, as part of her employment contract. As I sit at my desk and while away the time, I try to work up the courage to call her. I want to take her out, to hold her. Dear God, I want so much more than holding. I think back to the first week, when I made up excuses to check up on her. After 4 days, she invited me into her hotel room, and we kissed. Hell, we made out like teenagers. I ran my hands over her body, and she returned the favor. It was crazy and exciting, and made me feel as if I was back in high school, doing some heavy petting after a dance. Then I got a call, and it ended the exploration that night. Why the fuck can't I move this relationship forward? 7 months later, and all I have to show for it is fantasies about that night in her hotel room. I obsess about her. I dream about her. When the pressure gets to be too strong and I end up stroking off, thoughts of her fill my head. 7 months. The only thing I haven't done is pick up the fucking phone and call her. The worst part about it all is that I still see her all the time. I see her, and we flirt, and we talk, and I go back to work angry with myself instead of walking on air because we have a date planned. What the hell is my problem? She is beautiful too. She has jet black, straight hair that shines beautifully in the sun, so it almost looks midnight blue in the right light. She has a very petite frame, and she looks almost like a pixie or an elf when she glides by. She has a really lovely figure that looks as if it was designed to turn me on, from her incredible breasts, which are perfectly proportioned to her frame, to her incredibly heart-shaped ass, so tempting in her jeans. It's not just her looks, though. That's probably what's keeping me from making the move. She's smart and funny. She's sweet and kind. It's as if she has the personality of the girl next door, but the body of a teenage porn star. The whole effect is powerful, and I'm desperate for her. The sheriff walks in and looks at me. "My God, Randy," he says, "isn't it about time you stopped mooning over that girl and just asked her out for Christ's sake?" I groan and say, "It isn't that simple. Just because you're complicating it." He's right, but how can I explain? I almost slept with her. I was right there, and our jeans were actually undone. My hand moved over her panties, for heaven's sake.